Once again, I wish good morning and I welcome to this session of Qatar Chapter Teachers Empowerment Program, Biology for the year 2020-21. I welcome you all for this session. Hope this session will be very interactive at the end. I'll introduce to you myself first. I'm Muhammad Abdul Salim from Shantiniketan Indian School. I have overall experience of 20 years plus. I've been working in Shantiniketan for 10 years. My previous experience shows that I was working as a lecturer in Sultanul Ulum Junior College in Hyderabad, teaching zoology. And after that, I went to Northeast Africa, and there I worked under the Ministry of Education, Eritrea, as a senior biology teacher. So that's my short introduction. Now I want the teachers who are representing the different schools, particularly the HODs or the subject in charges from all the schools. I want you to please introduce yourself and give a brief up in short. Let's start with MES Indian School. Teacher who is representing the school, please, you can introduce yourself.
Hello, good morning. I am Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Srirangan, biology teacher from MES Indian School. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I can hear you. Yes. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
I'm a biology teacher, senior section I'm handling. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ideal Indian School. Teachers can please unmute and then please switch on your camera when you are introducing yourself. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Renuka from Ideal School, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. AKIS, Alcor International School.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sodhi Sam. I'm teaching in Alcor International School. Elizabeth ma'am, my HOD would also be there. I think she has joined.
Yes.
Yeah, so she was
Thank
not.
you, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Birla Public School.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. This is Sandhya from Birla Public School. I'm the HOD of biology there.
Yes.
So let's see who all are there.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
DPS Modern Indian School.
Hello everyone, I'm Preeti Modi from DPS Modern Indian School. I think I have met many of you during the course of our examinations or during the interactions. I'm a senior teacher in DPS, teaching class 11 and 12. And I think 4 teachers have joined from our school.
Okay.
All the very best to you, Salim sir. It's a
Thank
good
you,
initiative, which and it's a common platform where we all the like minds can interact and we can share our thoughts. It's really well appreciated, and all the very best to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Doha Modern Indian School, teacher representing DMIS.
Good morning to all. I'm Vimal from Doha Modern Indian School. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Greenwood School, Greenwood International School. Okay, I think nobody is representing. Pearl International School. Any teacher representing Pearl International School?
Yes, sir. Good morning to everyone. I am Sanjay. I'm teaching biology in Pearl International School. And I'm firstly, sir, Salim sir, I'm congratulating to you that it's a really
Thank you, sir.
very nice platform. All biology teachers come together and have a nice session with you.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
to you, sir, and best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Salim,
DPS Monarch
sir.
International School.
Okay.
DPS Monarch International School. Teacher, anybody representing from the school can please introduce.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Jyoti Mohanty, representing from DPS Monarch International School. I'm teaching biology there in the school.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Bhavan's Public School, please.
Good morning, all. I am Jisha Anil Vargas. I'm the HOD of Barnes Public School. All the best, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Loyola International School.
Good morning, sir. Shikha Pandey here from Loyola International School.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Olives International School, Doha. I think nobody is there from Olives. We'll wait. Scholars International School. Teacher representing from Scholars, Olives International School.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes.
I'm
Good
Sneha.
morning.
I'm Sneha Raikar from Olive International School, and I think we four are here attending this session. Thank you
Okay,
so
that's
much.
good. My pleasure, ma'am. Thank you so much. Rajgiri Public School. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
I'm also from Olive International School. I'm Lixi.
That's great. That's great, ma'am. Thank you so much. Rajgiri Public School, please. Rajagiri Public School. Okay. Thank you so much, teachers, for the quick introduction of yours. Let us start the session without wasting much time. And there we go with the first slide. My session, it will be on challenges in teaching and learning biology. Now, there we have two of these very noted phrases. Out of these two phrases, one phrase, it is complete and the other phrase is incomplete. So that gap we need to fill. So I'll give you the time for filling up this gap. You can use the chat box and fill this gap with the apt word. So let us see in the chat box the apt word which will fit into this gap. Teachers. Okay, I got the response. Right. Learn, participate, perform, excel, learn. That's good. Okay, that's great. Perform. Every child can learn and achieve high results. Explore, change. So we are getting different words to fill in this gap. Experience, that's very good. Experiment, enjoy. Okay, so we have got so many answers and the reply was awesome. And let us try to fill in this gap, and the apt word which will fit into this is learn. Every child can learn and achieve high results. So most of the teachers, we have given the apt word, and this is the tagline of our school, Shantiniketan Indian School. Every child can learn and achieve high results. And the second phrase is no child is born to be a failure. Okay, we'll move on to the next slide, and The question is, what are the different challenges, problems faced by teacher in teaching and learning biology? Now here I'm asking these questions just to refresh ourselves as we have woke up and had the breakfast. So let us try to just brainwash and refresh ourselves. So I'll be sharing the link in the chat box for this question. So please get the link. I'll just put this link on the chat box. Okay, so you can use this link for answering this question. So the question is, what are the different challenges or problems faced by teacher in teaching and learning biology? So that's what my topic is today. So let us see the answers from the teachers, what problems we are facing. Okay, I got one reply. Reply is on. So I want all the teachers to please participate. Let your answer be, simple. Let it be anything. Just make yourself engaged. Even from mobile phone, you can please access the link. It can be accessed from the mobile phones if you are using mobile phones. So far I got 2 replies, 4 replies. That's great. I'm getting various replies. Students face difficulty in understanding and remembering more complicated biology terms are there, yeah. Then practical work to enable students to represent appropriate diagrams, absolutely correct. Then practical work should be done in order for active learning to make children learn new and difficult terminologies. Okay, so I have got a good reply from teachers. Thank you so much for participating in this. We'll move ahead, and here we have some of the points what I have jotted down, and the problems what the teachers face usually. So teaching biology has begun to shift its focus from teacher-centric approach to student-centric approach, from knowledge-based teaching learning to understanding-based teaching learning, and from chalk and talk method to discovery learning method. This we need to understand. Biology has a great role in our daily lives too. Though we are so close to biology, there are certain areas which are challenging and difficult to comprehend. So today, let's focus on some of these challenges in learning and teaching biology and try to overcome them. And these are the challenges what we face as biology teachers. So number one, it is the pedagogical knowledge, what we have to attain in terms of biology, that is the terminology, where we have got the reply from some of the teachers that terminology is difficult. The next is teaching the core concepts in biology. So how to teach the core concepts in biology. Then diagrams, question formulating technique, digital literacy, scientific innovations, research and advancement, and inquiry-based. So these are the points what I have felt that these are very important for us to discuss in today's session. So let us take on one by one all these points and try to understand and overcome these challenges. The first one is mastering the subject. That's so important. And one quality of effective biology teacher frequently identified in the breadth and depth of subject knowledge, not only acquiring knowledge, but also commitment and enthusiasm towards the subject. Definitely, experience makes a teacher expert, but how? You need to do a lot of preparation to get knowledge. Enormous information need to be gathered from different sources. Earlier, the content was available concisely, but now with the introduction of 5G network, it is easy to download 1,000 pages book and acquire the desired knowledge. Apart from this, there are so many competitive and researchful books published every year with new and advanced content to upgrade ourselves. If we maximize the use of the resources magnanimously, surely the quantum of knowledge increases day by day, and simultaneously confidence builds up, both mentally and physically, to face the classroom. Next, the teaching the difficult concepts, it is by means of chunking. Chunking, for most of us, our memories have their limitations. Chunking helps us overcome the natural limitations of our memory and is therefore a very powerful trick for helping us to learn information and get it into memory. So when we are preparing for a lesson, we need to chunk, we need to fragmentize the lesson. So this fragmentation is the process by which the mind divides large pieces of information into smaller units, what we call them as chunks. And here on the slide, you can see all these units that are easier to retain in short-term memory. One item in memory can stand for multiple other items. Each unit is a group of information that is strongly related to each other. So chunking is the process of grouping related bits of information together, effectively reducing the number of things you need to remember. So this is the first step, how we can simplify the teaching methods and understanding biology. Number two in the list is pedagogical knowledge with respect to knowledge in biology terminology. So terminology is very important. So why I emphasize this is because teachers must understand how language influences learning and develop strategies to enhance the performance. Enhancing teachers' competence is rooted in the ways that teachers introduce, organize, scaffold learning experience related to biology content. It means that professional biology teacher is one who is capable not only of practicing and understanding his or her craft, but of communicating the reasons for professional decision and actions to others. So words in biology can be grouped in three categories. So I have grouped these words into three categories and have put them according to the pyramid where they belong. Number one category is general academic terms, the ones like converted, proceeds, and originates. These words, they are also very important. And like these words, there are many other general terms in English which are used in biology, which will make little sense if they are not understood properly. The second term, we have terms in biology that also have other connotations, like terms such as adapt, cycle, and energy. The third category, the most important, I have put this category of terms at the bottom. Why? Because they carry a lot of work, lot of burden, lot of load. And these words, they are used only in the science of biology. Like there are certain terms like allopatric, genotype, and stroma. There are other terms like the specific terms which are used for the names of animals and plants. Like here I have mentioned Mangifera. This is the scientific term used for mango. So we find a little difficult to understand these terms. The second term you can see, it is very, very difficult. Diphyllobothriocephalus latus. Now these terms, like such, this type of terms we come across in biology. So how to understand these terms, how to remember these terms? We have a very simple technique where we can divide these terms into fragments. Like here I am dividing these terms into fragments. Diphyllobothriocephalus latus. So in this way, if these terms are divided into bits and then joined together, then we'll be able to understand the term and also memorize this term. So we have the complete term here, Diphyllobothriocephalus latus. Now this is the scientific term. The common name of this particular individual or the organism is the fish tapeworm. It is the longest tapeworm. Now how to memorize it further? Like we have the common name, which is known as the longest tapeworm. So here the name is longest and the tapeworm is also longest. So in this way, we need to relate the terms, the scientific terms and the simple terms. And by relating, we will be able to understand all these scientific names, the difficult terms which are appearing. So this is one example what I have given. Like this, you can practice and overcome this biggest challenge what we are facing in biology. So understanding these terms is important, and misunderstanding can block the concept building. But we should know that they are important and invest both time and effort on them so that we can find it easy to explain it in the classroom. Next, after understanding, knowing the difficult terms, now coming to the body of the lesson, understanding the core concept. Now for understanding the core concept, I have figured out different ways. Like number one, it is by watching videos. Now we show videos to the students. Now what I prefer is like the videos, what we are showing, these videos, they should be very short for a short period of time. It should not exceed more than 5 minutes. And the language of the video, it should be very clear so that we can understand and also the students can understand easily. Now these videos, they can be given as flips, right? They can be flipped. So students can be given these videos to watch them in advance and come to the classroom so that they can have better understanding when we are teaching them. So that's number one, videos. Number two is mind maps. Now you must be knowing, we all know what are mind maps. Now I'll just give you a brief of this mind map, what it is exactly. It is simply a diagram which is used to visually represent or outline information. It helps you to think, collect knowledge, remember and create ideas. The title or the main idea is always located in the center. Center of the map, you can put the title, like how here you can see in the screen center, there is understanding the core concept, and I have put all the different ways to the periphery. And then there are so many benefits of concept maps. It stores and structures vast amounts of information and enables us to see the big picture at a glance. It is the best brainstorming tool which stimulates our brain and transcribes the ideas with incredible speed, making thoughts in an organized manner. So like videos, I have some of the mind maps that I have put up on the screen. Here we have one example showing the complete mind map of asexual reproduction. Now, such type of ready-made mind maps, they are available, right? They are available in the net, they are available in the textbooks. And, you know, students also, they find it in different sources. But what I prefer is drawing it by our own hand and practicing it. That makes the difference. Looking into the ready-made mind maps and getting the knowledge, practicing it by drawing it, it is very different. So what I suggest is you need to draw the mind maps when you are preparing for the lesson. And the mind maps, they should be drawn in such a way that you will understand, you should be able to understand, and also the students should be able to understand the whole concept at one go. Here I have the sample of the mind map, what I have drawn it to make it very simplified. Plasmodium life cycle, it is a complicated life cycle, as we all know. And this complicated life cycle, it is taking place in two phases. One, it is the asexual phase and the sexual phase. I have divided this asexual and the sexual phase into two different halves. There you can see the mind map showing two different halves. On one half, you can see the asexual phase. The other half, you can see the sexual phase. The whole information which is important, it is put on the screen. So at one instance or one go, you can have a look at the whole picture and you will be able to understand what exactly the life cycle of Plasmodium is. So I prefer and I suggest you to please practice these mind maps by yourself, draw it yourself, and with this action, what you're showing, you will be able to keep the concept, you'll be able to keep the information for a long lasting period. So that's how mind maps, they play an important role. Next, the term is mnemonics. And I have an activity here, small activity, and I'll be using the Google Slides for you to participate. The question is, give one example of mnemonics you have used to understand the concept and effectively used in the classroom to teach. The question is, you can read it, it's very clear. So I will share the link with you. To participate in this activity. Okay, you can get the link from the chat box. There you go. Okay, so let me brief up first. We are going into the Google Slides. I have created 16 Google Slides, sorry, and the slides are being named school-wise, alphabetically ordered, and you can easily find your school slide there. You can use the slides for answering the question. The question is very simple. Give one example of mnemonics you have used to understand the concept and effectively used in the classroom to teach. So the slides are yours. You can use the slides. You can text the information. You can type, you can also put the pictures if you want, and complete this questions answer. So I can see 14 teachers have joined. 4 teachers belonging to one school can use one slide. Do not change the name of the school, please. Let the name of the school be there, and those teachers belong to the school, they need to use that slide. If you want to add slides, you can add. I might have missed schools, but I haven't. 16 schools, 16 slides are there. So all the schools slides are there created. So please check your slides. The first one is EKIS, Alcor. Okay. Okay, DPS Modern Indian School already started answering. That's very good. It's too good. What about other schools? Yeah, Shantiniketan Indian School also. Okay, mnemonics. The question is on mnemonics. Give one example of mnemonics you have used to understand the concept and effectively used in the classroom to teach. Okay, the question is very specific. Mnemonics you have used to understand the concept. That means you have created yourself and effectively used in the classroom to teach. It's not a test, teacher. Please feel free and share your ideas, please. Let it be interactive. If you are not aware of it, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Okay, that's good. I can see schools participating. Teachers are giving the mnemonics. Okay, more 1 minute for completing this task. Okay, teachers, thank you so much for participating. Let us proceed with the presentation. Mnemonics. For some, it may be new. So I'll just brief up what exactly it means. The human mind is built to remember. It never forgets or loses anything throughout life. It is natural to remember only those things or concepts which we think are important. This is because we pay more attention to the ideas and information we want to remember or relate to our own priorities. It is a memory enhancing instructional strategy that helps us recall and remember certain facts or large amount of information. They can come in the form of steps, songs, rhymes, acronyms, phrases, or sentences. All we have to do is construct a phrase or sentence where the first letter of every word represents the difficult spelling word. So here I have some of the examples of the mnemonics which we use in understanding the concepts which are very difficult, and also use it in the class to make students understand better. So when we use these mnemonics in the classroom, it will be easy for the students to also memorize these difficult terms and produce at the time of examination. Here we have the most important, the essential amino acids, which are figured out to be 10 of them, as we all know. And for this, we have a very short mnemonic, right? And there it is, PVT.Tim Hall. It's the name of the person. And PVT, it is the designation which is given for the soldiers in European and American countries. So here, this particular name, it represents the mnemonics for the 10 essential amino acids. The next one, it is the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Now, this is also very important for us to remember and also for the students. So how to remember these 12 pairs of cranial nerves? Here we have the mnemonic. On occasion of parties, the attractive faces are girls. Visitors say hello. It's quite fascinating and interesting also. And for the students also, they find it very interesting to memorize. And there are other mnemonics I have just jotted down there. You can see hat is there for the different parts of the body insects. Then we have spoil, we crack. Now this is also very simple mnemonic which is used for remembering all the labelings of the eye. Then next is SID. SID is for Mendel's laws, the 3 laws of Mendel's. Then LCPG. Now this is another mnemonic which is used for remembering the steps to practice the laws of Mendel's and the problems in the genetics. Then the other 3 of these mnemonics are also very important. Like number 1 is PISA, as we all know very well. what it stands for. And these are the acronyms for program for international student assessment. It is a international benchmark examination or assessment which is conducted all over the world. Then STEM, the science, technology, engineering, math. STREAM, it's a very new introduced acronym, and also the different skills are added along with STEM. So that states science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and maths. So these are some of the acronyms which we can use, and with the help of this, we can easily overcome the difficulties and challenges in teaching biology. So next, about diagrams. I want all of you to please look at this slide, observe it carefully. I'll give you 1 minute for keen observation. Observe it carefully, all the diagrams. Okay, thank you so much. And here is the question for you to answer. I'll be sharing the link for you to answer this question very soon. In the chat box, you can find the link for attempting this question. Okay, teachers, the link is provided to you. Please start attempting the question asked. The question is right on the screen. Name all the diagrams that you have observed in the previous slides. There are 13 diagrams which are figured. If you write down all the 13 diagrams, what you have observed carefully, you are absolutely genius. You know, even if you don't, you are still genius. So do not stop participating. Please start writing the names. It doesn't matter if you name 5 minimum diagrams. That's
Sir,
great.
the link, sir, sorry to interrupt. The
Yes,
link
ma'am.
has not been provided yet, sir.
Okay, I'll provide it, ma'am. Once again. You got, ma'am?
No, sir, it is not in
Okay,
the
okay.
chat box.
Just a minute, just a minute. Actually, it went on privately. So now I think it is
Yes,
there
sir.
in the chat box. Yes, thank you so much. Teachers can participate. I'm not going to disclose your answers. So feel free to participate. It's just a interactive session. So I have teachers participating here, the list of teachers responding. I'll give you more 1 minute for completing this activity. I've got 30 responses. That's great. Participation is amazing. I can see most of the teachers involved in it. I'll give more 30 seconds to complete. Okay, teachers, thank you so much for participating in this activity. Let us try to find out the different diagrams, what we have on the slide. And you can see here, amoeba is number 1. Number 2 is paramecium. Number 3 is the respiratory system. 4 is Euglena. We have the pedigree analysis diagram. Here we have the ecological pyramid. This is the antibody structure. This is DNA replication. This is fertilization. This is Punnett square. This is the pistil. This is the plasmid DNA vector. And here we have this tRNAs. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 tRNAs. That's it. So the activity is just to enhance our memory power and focus on diagrams, how important these diagrams are. So biology without diagrams is not a complete subject. This you need to agree. And diagrams are the most important units or chunks that we cannot afford to ignore. By practicing and understanding the different parts, the core concept can be comprehended easily and also delivered in the classroom. Learning biology requires not only the linguistic ability, but also the ability to understand diagrams in different formats related to the subject and to translate the diagrams in the verbal form. Diagrams play an important role in the theoretical and practical study of biology. Diagrams should be drawn colorfully, neat and clear with proper labelings. The labeling should not be haphazardly done. All the labels should come on one side of the diagram. right over here. You can see all the labelings coming on the one diagram on the one side. This is how we need to teach the students as well as so that they can get better marks. So sometimes we skip these diagrams and concentrate more on the theoretical part of the subject. This is not the right way of preparing. Diagrams hold the equal importance as it helps in strengthening the answer and provides a clear picture to the reader. Students are required to express their knowledge and understanding in unique way through drawing diagrams as they fetch more marks. So diagrams are very important and we need to focus on it. So next we'll move on to the next problem or challenge. What I can say, it is the steps for question formulation. So what are the different steps which we need for formulating the question? So there is one newly introduced technique, what we call it as the Q focus technique or question formulation technique. So you can have a complete study on this. I have just figured out the steps how to practice this technique, right? So the 7 steps are there. The first one, it is the teacher designs a question focus. That is, the topic will be selected by the teacher and this topic will be given to the students in advance. Then teach students the rules for producing questions. Students formulate questions. Then students work with open-ended and close-ended questions. Students prioritize questions. And then teacher and students discuss next steps for using the questions. And then at last, reflect on the whole process, what they have done. So this is one very good strategy or a technique, I can say, which is very powerful to teach students how to formulate their own questions on a given flipped topic, I say, and become, the students will become more curious and they get engaged and self-directed learners. This also elevates the students' autonomy and collaboration. Students who learn to ask their own questions are more engaged and they take greater ownership of their learning and learn more. So this is one technique, what I suggest you to please practice it in the classroom, and it is providing a huge benefit in that way. So we'll move on to the next challenge what we are facing, that is digital age literacy. And as we know how important it is for us to update the knowledge simultaneously with the subject knowledge. The age-old chalk and talk method of teaching biology is getting modified and is being supplemented by new techniques. Digital age literacy skill is the ability to use the digital technology, communication device or network to access, arrange, unify, evaluate, and create the information based on the community knowledge. Almost every assignment in today's classroom requires some computer work, be it researching, performing calculations, or writing a report. We should take advantage of a variety of online communication resources and update the knowledge. Next challenge what we are facing is scientific innovations, research, and advancement. So here I want to focus more, and the fields or the branches of biology, what I have displayed here, they are the advanced fields, right? What we are teaching in higher secondary, but in middle and secondary, these fields are not mentioned. So what is the importance of biology research? Has not only changed our views of life, disease, and behavior, but has also generated applications in many areas vital to humans, including food production, medical diagnosis and therapy, molecular biology, biotechnology, and forensics. We do expect students to be able to develop understanding of the nature, processes, and methods of science through different types of scientific inquiry that help them to answer scientific questions about the world around them and develop their ability to evaluate claims based on science through critical analysis of the methodology, evidence, and conclusions. We have to empower students in providing the right guidance and information. Teachers of middle and secondary school level should introduce these topics and teach the basics of all these fields. That will be very beneficial for the students and also for the teachers who are teaching in the higher secondary. So when the students come to the senior secondary with the fundamental concepts clear, they will be able to understand the core concepts easily. So students should be given wide options to select any interesting topic, right? Any interesting topic they can select, which is all new, and allowed to build up the hypothesis. Then conduct the hands-on experiment or research. Observe the day-to-day changes occurring in the experimental setup and record the data. Analyze the data collected based on the experiment conducted and conclude the investigation by giving the comparative results. The self-learning investigatory projects assigned to the students play a substantial role in gaining knowledge, values, social practices, and encourage the inquiry-based learning. Let me add more on connecting this to inquiry-based learning. One approach in science education that coincides with the constructivist paradigm is inquiry-based learning. Learning science through inquiry is supposed to encourage learners to develop deeper understanding by actively engaging them in a scientific discovery process. Inquiry-based learning is considered an important learning approach for teaching science concepts. Inquiry-based learning can be counted as an approach by engaging students in activities. In order to gain understanding during scientific discovery, students have to master two related problems, which are there on the screen. You all can see. One of the problem, it is hypothesis space, and the second problem, it is the experiment space. While the hypothesis space can be defined as a search space consisting of possible explanations for a phenomenon and is guided by prior knowledge of scientific concepts, the experiment space consists of experiments and requires inquiry skills for mastery. In this way, inquiry-based challenges in biology education research has a twofold significance for science teaching, as it can improve both inquiry skills and understanding of scientific concepts. Last but not the least, coming to the streaming in education, how it helps learners overcome the difficulties. Like we can connect, collaborate, learn and share information with each other. That's what we are doing in today's session. We can seek guidance and support from the peer members in order to clear the concepts. Streaming in education helps in building up the intellectual understanding among the individuals. So that's all I have, friends. Thank you very much for attending this session. Before winding up my session, I'll just like you to please give me the feedback for the question. What I will be sharing the link with you. You can please find the link in the chat box. Okay. Teachers, please find the link in the chat box. If you have any difficulty, you can please respond, unmute, and you can speak. Total number of participants are 57. I've got 38 responses. Teachers can respond. If you have any difficulty in responding, you can please reply to me. Okay, I have the results with me. I'm sharing it with you all. Thank you very much for encouraging and giving me this opportunity for presenting. I've got the response from you. You can keep on giving it. Those who haven't, I thank you one and all for being patiently listening to me. With this, I wind up my session, and now we'll have open session. I'll invite teachers from the different schools to please share your ideas on today's topic. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, Salim sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you so much for this lovely session. Brought in many thought-provoking answers to many questions that I've been having in my mind. I must confess that I don't use mnemonics too much in the class. So definitely you have encouraged me to use more mnemonics in the class, and I must congratulate that. Definitely it is the right way to learn different terminologies, etc., and also to make conceptual learning of biology more interesting in the class. Children will definitely look out for mnemonics. So that is real. That was something really that I learned from this webinar from you, sir, this afternoon. One of the challenges I keep facing, and I love to share that with you, is that whenever I walk into a class and I look at all my children, all my students in the class, I find that they are of different kinds, so many different kinds, and each one wanting to do their very best. So the real challenge to me is that how can I actually transform them from whatever IQ they are having at present, and their, the concept, the learning of biology, and transform them into excellent scores on the mark sheet. So this is one of the challenges that I keep facing, and every year the challenge takes different shapes and sizes. However, I must confess this afternoon that the question answer technique that you spoke about has really, guided me in the classroom, and I piece out the questions in such a way that I do not label any child, and every child has an opportunity to answer the question in their way. And then finally, we put them all together and give them the appropriate answer. So in this way, without their knowledge, they keep improving on their conceptual learning. I really feel that conceptual learning is slowly taking a back seat in our classrooms. And I must challenge all of us that we as biology teachers must always work towards conceptual teaching and learning, so that the children really can answer any question posed to them any time of their life. So this is a challenge that I have been facing, and I keep using different ways that you have also shared this morning to really put all the children in the same platform, nearly the same platform when they leave us. So thank you, sir, and I really enjoyed the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your views. Any other teachers, please, you can share your views.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Minnie Devdas from DPS. Sir, the session that you held today, in fact, nobody would have any other argument that other than this. That is, it was very much interactive. It was informative. More than that, it enabled us to brush up certain techniques which we used to use maybe a year back, or we have forgotten. some of them we have been using. You added a few more points to it. So definitely it was a very good experience. And the noticeable thing was how you carried out procuring answers from us through this interactive platform by providing links. That is highly appreciated. All four of us from DPS were really looking forward to what we would take away from this particular presentation of yours. And indeed, I am sure that all the other co-teachers of mine would agree that we are going with an enriched mind today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
May I?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, first of all, for the today. I request to unmute because it is creating a lot of disturbance. When teachers were speaking, there was a lot of noise. Thank you.
Okay.
So, sir, thank you very much for this good session. The best thing is, like Elizabeth ma'am was telling, I also learned today many things. Mnemonics I also did not use most probably. The most thing is, it was not that we are not aware of the things. It's mainly because in higher classes, we don't find time to use all these things. Definitely, and we are in a hurry to finish with the portions. So today, since it's very good to know that there are so many biology teachers in Qatar and we all have come together the same platform. So I would request that everybody, specifically the primary and the middle school teachers, should follow all these things because they can use more of these things and bring the children's interest into biology subject rather than taking. Exactly. I think there's a lot of change already because of this virtual classrooms now. Many people have learned many new things and started working on different things. So I would request all the primary and the middle schools teachers specifically, and if possible, of course, also the higher school teachers to follow all those techniques which sir has given us today, and it will really helpful in teaching biology. So thank you, sir, for letting us know that there are 57 teachers today who have participated here, and so many teachers were there, and we look forward to carry on this relationship.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Once we had last year, it just went off. Again, doubts remain in us, and we don't have anybody to clarify. I just know some of these teachers, like I was in contact with Elizabeth ma'am and some of the teachers of like Renuka ma'am and all. But so many of them are here, so it's good. So we should carry on with this. So you should carry on with the.
Surely, inshallah. We'll carry on, definitely. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wise words.
May I, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yes, good morning to you once
Please
again.
name the school and your name, ma'am.
Yeah, sir. My name is Shiba. I am from Olive International School, Doha.
Okay.
And first of all, I'm very sorry because I joined little late. That's very late, surely. But now I'm very lucky because I have learned many things from teaching experience. Whatever I forgot before to implement in my classroom, and it was one of the best session, I have to say, especially for the mnemonics implementation. And we can, especially for this pandemic situation, I very workful for the students, and it can be reach out to all the levels of the students also. And it is my humble request, and if it is possible, we can have a WhatsApp group of all these Qatar biology teachers, and we can share our ideas also.
Yeah, definitely, ma'am. Definitely. I have created a WhatsApp group. I will send you my number in the chat box. You can find the number, and I will add you the group.
Yeah, can
so
be
teachers who are interested, please, you can send me the request, then I will add to this number. So this is my personal number, WhatsApp number.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful session, wonderful session, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. My pleasure. Sanjay, sir, can you please, sir?
Sir. Good afternoon to all again. Sir,
good afternoon, sir.
Really, congratulations. It was a very informative session. And really you focus on so many challenges and really we all teachers will take care what you gestures. One challenge is that is the diagrams, figures.
Yeah.
I observed that many students they avoid drawing the diagrams because they are not comfortable with that. But if the study with the biology means without diagram, it is impossible. And if teacher with the easiest way of teaching these diagrams and drawing, students can visualize this in a different patterns, structures, and the functions also.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So this part I like very much, sir. And if we are giving chance to students, draw your diagrams in your way. So maybe
that is what we need to practice.
Level, confidence level will increase, and teacher can easily suggest them to how to visualize, how to learn that things in the easiest way. That is, I like very much, sir. Thank you again. Congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you so much. Any other teacher, you want to share your opinions, your views? Feel free to share, please.
Sir, may I?
Yes, ma'am. Please introduce
Yes,
yourself.
Salim,
And
sir.
from
My
the
name
school.
is Divya Nidish.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm working in Pearl School.
Okay.
The session was really very good. I'm teaching till grade 6, 6th biology. But even though I could get so many information from so many experienced teachers of Doha, so as the other teachers told that we should have a contact with each other.
Yes.
So that we can share. During this virtual class only, I understood that it was a normal class when we were going to school and all. But when it come to a virtual class, then we understood that we had so many creativities to do, but we were not doing it because, as ma'am said, that we were going behind
Not
finishing
familiar.
our
Yes.
syllabus.
Not
So,
familiar, and also we were
yes,
planning
and
to.
as Elizabeth ma'am also said that mnemonics was a new thing for me also. So definitely I will be using it.
Surely,
So
ma'am.
thanks a lot, sir.
My pleasure, ma'am. Always. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
May I, sir?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Good
introduce.
afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm Kakuli
Good
ma'am
afternoon.
from DPS Modern Indian School. Sir, we 4 teachers are really very happy that we have attended the session today. And for me, personally, I say that I do use mnemonics, but today I have learned some more new ones, which I can, utilize in my class.
Practice,
Thank you
yes.
so much, sir, for the informative session.
It's a pleasure, ma'am. It's a pleasure. Google Slides will be always there, and we can share more mnemonics on the Google Slides. For
Yes.
sure, it will be there. Yeah.
Yes, sure, sir. Was an
Yes, teachers. Any teacher want to speak and share your ideas? You can unmute and speak, please.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, Sanjay sir was sharing something lovely about diagrams, but
Yeah.
even I feel that the same, that teachers must first, biology teachers must actually practice line diagrams themselves before they
Yes.
actually go into a class and teach diagrams, because sometimes, yeah, the line diagrams are the best way, the way you showed us on your slides,
Yes.
how we make it, simpler for the kids. And
Yeah.
so the children, once they know exactly how the teacher is drawing and participate in that particular class, then the children get more and more confident in drawing diagrams themselves. So I
Yeah.
really agree with what Sanjay sir said, that diagrams is one of the bigger challenges with the middle school and the 9th and 10th standard students, because they get scared of diagrams. But a teacher can easily make it simple by, drawing line diagrams instead of pictorial diagrams. And when the teacher themselves show the diagram to the students, draw and personally shows them in the class, then the students will not get that fear anymore. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your advices. Thank you for your inputs. definitely teachers will take care of it. Instead of going for the pictures which are there on the net, it's better that teacher practice it drawing and then go to the classroom, draw it on the board. So as we draw, the students will also draw, they will get the practice and they will know how the diagram should be drawn. So that's a very good idea.
Another one more challenge, sir, I would like to add on is the correction part, correction of notebooks and records.
Evaluations, yes.
So, you know, we bio teachers, we should stop giving notes, but make the students themselves you know, able to write the notes themselves while the class is going on. It's challenging for the kids, but once they get into the habit, then, you know, the initial, you know, classroom classwork will be not very easy to correct for the teacher. But slowly you will see how beautifully they start writing, you know, technical terminology by the end of the year. So I feel that though it is challenging for us to correct in, you know, so intricate corrections, but at the end of the day, at the end of the year, it is very, you know, we reap the fruit when we are so proud of their notebooks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any other teacher wants to share?
I'll move out, then they'll speak out.
From Alcor International School, we also have Solly ma'am. And
yes,
I request Solly ma'am to share one of the nice practices that she uses, you know, at the end of the class. Solly ma'am, where are you?
Please go ahead, ma'am.
Share your lovely practice of making the children, you know, answer questions at the end of your lesson.
Hi, Salim sir.
Solly ma'am is there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
yeah, hi,
yes.
Sir. Hi, sir. Thank you so much, Salim sir, for a great session. At,
Ma'am, you want to share the screen?
No, thank you so much.
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. So only thing is, you know, just because my HOD is telling me, I just make them read the textbook. I'm not, you know, in lower classes, especially from 6th upwards or, you know, 8th upwards, I make them read the textbook and then make them frame their own questions.
Okay.
That's what one thing, that's what ma'am wants me to discuss. You know, I make them frame their own questions. And then sometimes they come up, usually they come up with direct questions. Initially they do that. But gradually as they come up to higher classes, they themselves frame, you know, indirect questions, give recent questions. Or at least one in a classroom, at least one student in a classroom will be able to frame such challenging questions. You know, so that is one practice which I make them do. Same thing, we all do the same things. I'm very sure that most of the teachers would be doing all that. Then all the whatever you have been discussing, we do it in our classes too, sir.
Yes, yeah, sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing. Okay, thank you so much, teachers, for joining this session. I extend my gratitude and thanks to Qatar chapter convener and the core members of Qatar chapter for giving us this platform and sharing our ideas. Thank you so much for joining with me today for this session. Stay safe and healthy. Stay blessed. Thank you, teachers.
Thank you.
Thank you for attending.
Bye-bye, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
sir.
Salim
Take care.
Salim sir, your number has not been posted yet.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So sorry. I will post it once again. I think it has gone privately to Shiba ma'am. I will post it now. 700-25087. That's my number.
One more time, repeat, sir. 700.
Yeah. I'm sending it in the chat box. You can have a look at it. 700-25087.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Take care, all
Thank
of you.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
It's always my pleasure.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
ma'am.
all teachers.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.